Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another live stream here Saturday night, 8:15. And yeah, I wasn't going to stream today because it was a Saturday, but I guess sometimes I stream on a Saturday, but I mean, we got this big update with Trump and he's basically quadrupling down on wanting the Epstein situation to go away. I don't know who's advising him. Seems like a train wreck. And he's blaming Obama now. He's blaming Comey. He's blaming the ghost of the Democratic Party. And so that's where we're at now. And we get met with just walls and walls and walls of text. Good evening. Who is advising Trump? I don't know if Trump even listens to advisors at this point, honestly. I don't think really anyone is. I think he just does whatever. Do you think Carlson is going to have a run in 2028? I don't think so. But did you see Carlson's speech? Yeah, Carlson's speech was very interesting at that conservative convention. Seemed like he was counter signaling Trump and going against Trump. I mean, a lot of the core stuff with Trump is pretty solid if you review it. The miscellaneous stuff like Epstein is real bad. But Carlson was kind of picking through some certain things, and it was an interesting speech. Tweet seems like a drunk rant. Yeah, it seems like he's like rage quitting. He's just like pissed off at people responding, so he's quadrupling down on it, telling people to shut up some more. You never knew how many MAGA were actually obsessed with. Yeah, well, David, the other thing is, it's an attention economy. When there's attention on something, it gets magnified significantly. I know people in the comments are already saying, well, stay on Trump, stay on Trump. Give it a week. But, I mean, we'll see. Aaron, thank you. The response made you sick to your stomach trying to hold on to hope because why wouldn't Biden have released it if he was guilty? Yeah, no, I don't think it's that. I think it has to do with probably people around Trump and just the government in general. That this goes back many administrations. It's not just a Trump thing. It's just Republicans now have pressured Trump. That's the only difference. If there was no pressure against Trump, the government wouldn't be revealing anything. It would be the same thing as the Biden administration. It would be business as usual. But because there's all this pressure now, I mean, they also just flubbed it completely with Bondi. They flubbed the release. I mean, you couldn't do it really much worse than the way they did it in terms of hyping up expectations only to completely shatter them. Did Vance say release the files? You're correct on this. Yeah, but that was like a week. That was like 2 weeks ago. Vance really hasn't said much about the files recently. The time frame is really important. I don't think Vance has really made a public statement within. The only thing I saw about Vance, he was at Disney World like today or something. That's the only thing I've seen about Vance. So if Trump is innocent, why not release the files? Well, because there's a bunch of people in them, and it's gonna be a significant problem for the U.S. government and for Israel. Amazing, all the men in the small hats are defending this. Well, yes, it would be a very bad look for them if this all came out. So obviously, Israel is going to defend it. We knew that, but I think it's there's so many people in this. It's a big problem for Trump to release it. But I mean, why would Trump string people along like this and say he's going to release it? It just none of it really makes any sense. Maybe Trump will fire Bondi and get Gates as AG now, recess appointment or acting AG. It's not going to happen. He already said he's sticking with Bondi. I mean, unless he does a 180 from what he just posted. But Gates has so many skeletons. He'd be blackmailed to death, man. You don't want Gates. I know people like I don't think Gates would be good. Mark Levin interviewing Netanyahu on Fox. Oh yeah, that's great. That'll feed the boomer. That'll feed the boomers on Fox. What is your opinion of the U.S. sending weapons to Ukraine? Well, you have to understand the funding package of it. The funding package is it's NATO overall will pay for it, so we will partially pay for it, but really we're not going to pay for anything because we have a deal with Ukraine, a mineral deal. So they're going to send weapons because Trump is looking at it like, well, we have to somehow pressure Russia. I mean, Russia. There's no pressure on Russia. You have to pressure Russia to agree to a ceasefire. Otherwise, Russia's just going to keep taking land willy nilly. There's no pressure on Russia to end this. They're more powerful than Ukraine. You have to somehow put pressure on Russia. You know, there's going to be a major sanctions package announced by Trump. I don't know when, maybe Monday or whenever Trump said that. You've got fatigue from people who don't care about Epstein. Well, I know, but you have to understand it's kind of selective outrage. There's a lot of really bad shit that happens in the world, and there's a lot of bad shit that our government's done that has never come to light. But I know what you're saying, but you have to have perspective on it. And where was this outrage from you under the Biden administration? I mean, that was 4 years. So it's like, dude, I understand. I know it's bad for Trump, but it seems like selective outrage. Who do you think has more power, Trump or Netanyahu? I think it depends on the issue. I think Israel's extremely powerful with Middle Eastern issues. I think Israel controls a lot of the Middle Eastern stuff when it comes to U.S. policy, domestic stuff, deportations. There's more U.S. control. Do you believe that MI6 also in this too? I don't know about MI6. I don't know the level of involvement with MI6 with Europe. I mean, yeah, I have heard MI6 as well with Mossad, CIA, FBI, but less of them. But maybe I'm just not researching the right things because I have heard them come up. Thing about Biden is we knew he wouldn't get the. I know, but if this dude is gonna have a frickin' meltdown and say, "How dare you?" I mean, this has been going on for a while with our government. It's really bad, but this is what happens. ICE raids in California. Yeah, did you see that about the kids, the slave labor in California with the ICE raids? How about that situation? There were 10-year-old kids working in California on a marijuana farm. Illegals. Just terrible. I guess that's what liberals talk about when they say we need cheap labor. How many victims were paid off? Well, how many were offed as well? I mean, it's probably a look at Virginia Giuffre. I mean, they don't mess around. But I'm sure a lot were paid off as well. Yeah, that is interesting that Trump says we're on one team, MAGA. It's like a motivational speech. It's just not hitting. I know you have disdain for Fuentes because you're an ultra Trump loyalist, but you have to admit he was right regarding Epstein and in general. Yeah, he was wrong with Iran. You know, him and Carlson and all of them said, well, I mean, they thought there would be a long term war. Iran basically buckled in a day. What about that? Hope Trump has an upset. Small hats must send aid. What, send aid to Israel? They send a lot of aid to Israel already. I'm drinking a Hawaiian Punch. I'll tell you, this Hawaiian Punch is disappointing. They like fucking watered this shit down or something. I haven't had Hawaiian Punch in forever. I got Hawaiian Punch today. It's terrible. Is it like fucking diet or something? This is the regular Hawaiian Punch. It doesn't taste good. They watered it down. I don't know what they did. I guess it's good for America. It's good we're drinking healthier things. MAGA isolationists are obsessed with Israel, Epstein, and now blackpilled on everything. Well, they're counter signaling Trump. They're obviously further right than Trump. So, but I mean, dude, the thing with Trump is, you know, if you look at the core issues on Trump, I think it's, you know, I'm gonna grade Trump on the core issues. I'll do a video on it. I think people will be surprised. I think Trump gets like a B plus. Honestly, I know people are gonna be like, "How could you do that with this?" But this is a miscellaneous thing. This Epstein thing. People have to understand that. You agree it was handled poorly? If there isn't evidence, it's just conspiracy theories. Move on. But why would Bondi say there's evidence? I mean, I know you're admitting it was handled poorly, but I mean, I think there is evidence. I think they're hiding it. But who knows? Maybe it has been destroyed. I just don't know why Bondi would say that. It doesn't really add up. And why would Trump really string everyone along with the whole charade of, you know, this is one of the things that there's so many people that are still alive with for this. So you can release some of the JFK stuff, but with this, with the amount of people still alive, I think it's a big problem for them. Asmongold thinks the Epstein thing was to tarnish Trump's reputation. Well, I mean, this is his administration doing this. They could have came out and said everything was destroyed and that's it, and people would have bought it. I think, or at least the core base would have bought it. Trump didn't say he would open the Epstein files. He said it affects a lot of people. Yeah, no, he said he would open them, dude. I know what clip you're talking about. He was coy about it, but he said he'd do it, and they was marketed it as him saying he would do it. Cash Patel said we were wrong. No list existed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure people really trust Cash Patel at this point, man. I don't think people trust anyone within the cabinet on this issue, whether it's Bongino. I mean, look at what Bongino and Patel have been saying about that video. They were hyping up that video, saying it was going to prove that he killed himself, and it's a nothing burger that was edited by Adobe Premiere. I mean, what are we? It's almost like they're making it so obvious. I mean, this is like a lot of these. You know, I've been doing these live streams and like it's almost like two of them a week are just you know, just these bad situations for Trump. I have noticed that. And some of it's just people overreact and stuff, but To be fair to Biden, he never campaigned on releasing them. Also, he was heavily in bed with AIPAC, so Israel would have pressured him. Well, isn't that the point? I mean, but like the whole idea is, to me, that's a non-argument. Liberals talk about, well, Trump not releasing them, but even Trump, I don't even think Trump campaigned that hard on releasing them. It's like not even one of the top 20 things. So I think people over embellish that. But on top of it, it's like if your whole argument is, well, Trump is he's covering for all these terrible crimes. Well, so did Biden. It's the exact same thing. Whether or not he was pressured to release him is irrelevant. It's the same thing. But now it's just Trump has to say something because we're actually pressuring him, unlike the Democrats. Yeah, Rogan will probably have a podcast with Musk, and that'll be the big America Party thing. And Musk really should try and hit the ground running with this America Party because this is the perfect topic to attack on. Support Pam Bondi. She will prove 2020 election fraud. I doubt it. They're trying to distract you, bro. It wasn't a campaign promise until he was directly asked about. I know, and they weren't campaigning on releasing it. I mean, I think that people are making it a bit. They're over exaggerating to make him look bad, Trump, which is that's what people normally do. But this isn't good, and it's not going to end even if Trump drops the list now. The rapid, yeah, no, I know. No matter what they do, no matter what they drop, I mean, wouldn't that just admit they're completely full of shit? No matter what they drop now, because they said it doesn't exist, and now they're going to drop something. I mean, if they're pressured into releasing something, I don't know. I mean, I thought they were going to have Bondi take the fall because it seems like a bad situation, a bad scandal, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know if Trump is saying that's not going to happen now. I don't know if he wants it to just go away. I know a lot of people in the chat are saying it's not going to go away. I get it, but I'm just trying to speculate on what Trump's going to do. There's no Epstein client list, Cope, Truth. I don't know, man. I mean, I think you gotta be, you listen. I understand you're a big Trump supporter, but Trump shot himself in the foot by promising the JFK files, which made people immediately go for the Epstein files. Then he was asked about it and promised. Yeah, he was also the 9/11 files as well, which who knows what even that implies. All the copium in the chat is hilarious. Well, I mean, I see a lot of people pissed off, but that's what I see. Every big influencer is reporting this daily. They also reported other situations daily, and then they moved on. I mean, this is what happens. I mean, listen, we'll see what happens, but things tend to move quickly in media. Send the video from Epstein inside the cell. Well, I think they said that video was the one that was broken or something. I don't know. Remember, they said it was broken. Alex, I appreciate it. Trump doesn't lose me on Epstein. Your bottom line is immigration. Overall, you're pleased with his performance. However, he needs to be stronger on legal immigration. What was Tucker saying about this? Well, Tucker was taking the hardline right stance. It was very right. It was much further right than Trump on immigration. I think it was like basically insinuating, demographical awareness, if you will, in terms of where you should grow up and the type of people that should be around you in relation to immigration. And he got really livid, and he kept talking about, Trump giving the that work visa shit, which honestly, if you think about the numbers of it, it doesn't even fucking matter if Trump gives a work visa or not, because if there's 20 million illegals in the country and we're only going to be able to deport 1 million a year anyways, it's irrelevant. Now, no, you know what? I should say it does matter because it would undercut other Americans working because they work for less. So I should say it does matter, but Trump's gone insane. Thank you for the donation. Epstein is a non-issue, and why didn't Biden release the information too? There's a press conference and say nothing in there. Oh yeah, no, that's what I've been saying. I've been telling people that. I've been telling people, well, what about Biden? You know, it's an easy whataboutism to talk about Biden, but you know, it's they call it a deflection, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, what are liberals even gonna say? I mean, they can't say anything. They had 4 years. They didn't release shit. So what are they gonna say? This is more so, you know, counter signaling on the right, people getting it. But this is pretty much all of the right getting angry. These are all the mainstream fucking influencers getting angry about this. And I mean, it seemed like a lot of them even were angry about the Iran situation, at least, but it was more split there. This one, it seems like pretty much all of them are mad about this. Now, whether or not that's a facade and they'll drop it or they'll keep it, I mean, we'll have to see. This shows the Trump fans versus the Trump cultists. Yeah, and also there's a lot of, you know, Israel support that they're definitely going to support Trump in this. It's a funny coincidence how everything involving Israel and Mossad involvement is always a uniparty issue, right? Well, look, that's the unique function of APAC, how they're the bipartisan support they're able to gather. Going to cost Trump the midterms and lead to impeachment. I think let's calm down. Let's calm down. Let's take a deep breath. How is it going to lead to impeachment when they wouldn't lead to impeachment? All right, with the amount of because it just doesn't make sense. Whether the midterms, to me, you know, whatever you think about this issue, I mean, people have the attention span of a goldfish. I don't, you know, we'll see what Trump ends up doing. I'm not saying it's a good look, but I think. If MAGA stays home, Dems win, and he is impeached. Well, I mean, impeached by the House. It wouldn't go through the Senate. He was impeached twice in his first term. All right, well, let's see if there's any more news on this. I mean, this is kind of the big thing. You got this wacko dude who was trying to harass some Trump people. Trump just got ratioed on his own platform after making that post. Wow, that is crazy. Well, at least Trump doesn't bot. Trump messed up. It's worse than COVID. Well, COVID was a long term thing, and he was already leaving at the you know, by the time people like until when the scale of warp speed came, it was he was already leaving. The problem is that Trump ran on exposing the truth of Epstein. The fact that he's going back on it is a huge problem. You don't get to call a former president a rapist and not show proof of it. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a bad look for Trump. I mean, we'll have to see what happens here. You really think Trump would be foolish enough to apply 25% tariff to Japanese media? Well, I mean, I don't know. The tariff goes into effect on the first. They're open to negotiate with them. Why can't Trump say he's if he's on the file? He just say he's in the files. Well, I don't think he. I mean, it depends what you mean by in the files. I mean, there's a lot of people in the files. His involvement is very limited, but it doesn't even matter at that point in terms of his involvement. I don't think people really care. They view it as a botched operation. It's more so just a uniparty cover problem. If you could travel and see one other planet or moon outside of Earth, what would you choose? Well, I mean, I would probably choose one of those planets that's way out there in other solar systems that they say are is similar to Earth, but in our solar system, probably Neptune. But it would take, but the timing of it would take such a long time. So maybe just Mars, but Neptune or Saturn, I guess. America first, zero team mentality here. Trump can suck one, two, if toe maybe is what you meant to say. If this isn't some 40 chess move, protecting the swamp is inexcusable. Yeah, I don't think this is a 40 chess move. This is what it is. Now, if somebody gets to Trump and maybe this gets corrected, if it gets really bad and I mean, he just quadrupled down on it because remember he said the thing on Thursday and he comes back with this. It's a really bad look. You voted for the economy and immigration. Don't talk shit. Well, I mean that's ridiculous. I understand people react to this stuff and it's in the moment and they get angry, but you can't really tell people how to feel on issues just because if they think immigration and the economy is more important. He already released JFK and 9/11. They are pushing it. Well, he never released anything on 9/11. It was released under Biden. Any of them, the important 9/11 declassifications were done in like 2022, and those were forced, by the way, by the victims, I believe. Those declassifications under Biden, the 9/11 ones. What fails? Lowest illegal immigration, zero inflation, even with tariffs and record government revenue. No, I know. That's why I said I think his grade would be really good. I mean, but this is a this is a pretty big because this is deeper than some like oh Trump is coming. The implication is with Israel here, and so this is there's people on the right. This is not going to go over well. RB, what's up, man? RB and RC, huh? Why was there no pressure on the Biden administration regarding Nepsi? That's a good question. It's selective outrage because the Democrats really didn't care. Well, because Bill Clinton was rumored also is like one of the main ones going to the island. Trump's ego won't admit Bondi was a mistake. I know, but how much power does Bondi even have with a situation like this? I speculate probably not a ton, honestly. I mean, do you really think she's just has information and herself and it's her own decision to just not release it and say there's nothing here? or like to me, I think people are telling her what to do. I mean, it's a multi-decade thing with this Epstein stuff with multiple foreign agencies incriminated. I mean, it's very complicated. Howard Ludnick was the next door neighbor. Yeah, I mean, I did look that up. He wasn't the next door neighbor. They were in the same block. He wasn't the next door neighbor. But I mean, it's interesting for sure. But that was a little bit of a. People were telling me that, and I looked it up, and I don't think he was the next door neighbor. I think they were nearby. They were within the same vicinity. Yeah, people have been talking about Bondi, alleging Bondi and Trump and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that though. I mean, Trump is in the files, but nothing with being a pedo, but something to do with his wife. Epstein introduced Melania to Trump at an event. Yeah, I heard about that. But I mean, what does that mean exactly? Would that just be a bad publicity? Like, would it just implicate him, and so he doesn't want to complicate it and have that released? I agree with you 100%. I think there's things because the files, people don't understand. It's not like the files are one page and it's like 20 names and one of them's Trump. There's a lot to the Epstein files, if in terms of just all the information surrounding it over multiple decades. So there's a lot of people involved, and it becomes a problem even if you're involved to, or even if you don't go to the islands or anything. It's really bad publicity, basically. People have the attention span of 1 week. Yeah, I know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. People are saying this is going to be very bad for Trump. I mean, very simple. You don't like it, get out. Will they, or will they just go on X? Half are located in India, Pakistan, just like Musk's. No, I think these are mainly Americans who are upset with this. I agree with you on Musk. I say they're all in India with Musk. All of his fans are from India or Bangladesh or but with this I think it's a bit different. Release the cameras. Why are they hiding the cameras? I was told I heard the cameras were destroyed. Did did Epstein's lawyer say differently on that? Did you hear about Trump threatening to revoke Rosie O'Donnell's U.S. citizen? Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I think it's irrelevant. Isn't Rosie O'Donnell living in Ireland? So I don't know. Is she going to come back to the U.S.? I'm not sure about that. I mean, you're just giving her relevance. It could also be where previous FBI and CIA officials scrubbed all of the information clean by the time Trump got in because it implicates that. Yeah, but dude, that would be such an easy out for the Trump people then. You could just, why would they lie then? Why would Bondi lie and say they have stuff? That doesn't make any sense. That would seem like the easiest layup for the administration to say, don't blame us. The Democrats scrubbed everything and we're blaming them. And maybe people would believe that, maybe they wouldn't. But now you've made it to where nobody trusts you at all because you strung people along and said there was stuff here. If he did in fact kill himself, who cares? I'd be shocked if he killed himself based on everything surrounding that. So their plan is just hope it passes. You don't know how that it'll work since it's the literal beating heart of MAGA that's upset. No, that is. It seems like that's their plan. Oh, thank you for the $20 donation. Files just aren't as juicy as we've been led to think. The story has been hijacked by flat Earth level conspiracy theorists. Become way more scandalous. Yeah. Well, now you have to understand in terms of them releasing anything, they're just gonna. I mean, no matter what they release, people are gonna say it's just to placate. People are gonna say it's just to appease, and it's not anything close to the real information, and they're gonna still believe the cover up. That's why you know when you lose trust and you're the FBI or the CIA, you lose trust of the public. Your information is very wishy washy. Doesn't really matter. It's just so I think they're running into a bigger issue now to where if they release something, people will just say it's part of the cover up and you're trying to appease you're trying to appease the base. I mean, it'll depend how much Trump gets pressured here. Trump is tripling down. Now, I don't know if they're getting internal numbers that are saying, well, it's a very small amount of people and it's just people that are terminally online that are really upset about this. Or if Trump is just bullheaded and he's not getting advisement from people. I don't know which one it really is. Nothing says I trust my government like that last super chat. Were you born yesterday? What the files just aren't as juice. Well, I mean, they have been sensationalized, but yeah, I think there's some really bad stuff there. Am I the only one who thinks the America Party from Musk is a waste of time? Yeah, Musk is a wacko. He's obsessed with power, and Trump basically told him, "You're not, you don't have authority here in this administration," and he got pissed off about it. That's really what happened with Trump and Musk. Musk is going to go throw a bunch of money at a few district races and try and fuck up the House for the Republicans. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. They just have to siphon off a few votes, and they're going to run on Epstein, 100%. But they're not going to win anything. They siphon off votes from Republicans, and then the Democrat candidate wins. Hasn't Dan and Cash been saying the last few months that they basically had shit for evidence? That's very key. They have both been trying to tone everyone down, but then why would they get all angry at Bondi for basically saying exactly what they were insinuating? Was Epstein ever found guilty or innocent? I think his trial hadn't even started when he died. Well, Musk is going to probably be a pain in the. I don't know. He's so Musk is so bipolar. You don't know what he's going to do. You really don't. He's gonna invest a bunch of money, and we'll see. Trump is not a pedo, but his business could hurt for the files. A bunch of his investors have direct links with Epstein. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying. It's all encompassing. There's so many people affected in it, and it's not as simple as well. Trump's in them, so he's not releasing them. Obviously, that's a nonsensical take. If the economy does great and immigration is good too, then we will win the midterms and the Epstein thing will go away. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to go away. This is a pretty blatant cover up. But if you're talking about the electoral impact it will have, maybe it'll have less of an impact. It's the fact that Trump is acting like such an asshole over this. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, this is kind of sometimes how Trump acts, though. He gets bullheaded, and he doesn't have the proper advisement to check his ego sometimes, and so you'll get situations like this where he just doesn't really care that people are upset. Who's going to run for the America Party in 2028? I think Mark Cuban. No, it's back. It's back. Yes, yes, go ahead. Dude, this always happens. I don't have an Ethernet. It happens when it's just so annoying. JD at Disneyland. Yeah, JD Vance I saw was at Disneyland. So that's where he is. I don't know if he'll have a comment on this. They'll probably advise him not to say anything. You looked up the America Party. They don't have a site last you checked. Yeah, there was a fake like FEC filing. It turned out that wasn't real. I don't know if they've even created their party. It's going to be very hard for them to get on these ballots. I think they're going to make it that, so get ready for it. Musk is going to start crying about these ballots. Republicans are going to try and keep Musk off of these ballots. I mean, it's just the reality of how... And then he's going to start throwing a fucking fit about it. Keeps cutting out. All right, we'll try it one more time. Try it one more time. I gotta connect to my Ethernet. So tired of doing this. One of the alleged victims of the Epstein said in an interview that with Owen Schroyer that she saw Epstein shapeshift into a reptilian alien. That's a troll. Trump flew on Epstein's private jet total of 7 times between 93 and 97, but never to the island, just between Palm Beach and Florida. Also flew with family. Yeah, that's the key thing with that, not going to the island. Where does MAGA go from here? Well, there'll have to be some type of response by Trump, I would imagine. People seem, I think Trump is trying to reason and say, well, look at all the important issues. This is not why you voted for me and everything like that. But then people have the tunnel vision on this, and it's a really bad look for the administration. Who takes over MAGA after Trump? Rubio, Vance, someone else? I don't think it really exists after Trump. I mean, it would be Vance probably. I don't see how Rubio takes it over. Vance even it's a stretch, but it would be Vance. These people are just terminally online. Well, I mean, I agree. There is some of that. There is some of that, for sure. I mean, I don't know how much if you ask the supporters. I think there's a lot of people that are angry about this. It's not just terminally online people. Bondi 2028. Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is done, man. Ted Cruz ain't gonna do anything. Bannon may run now. I'm sure Bannon would love it. He'd love the attention. Bondi Mace 2028. Thought galore. What happened to the amnesty stuff? So the amnesty. I mean, it's a temporary work program. It's like temporary visas for workers that farms basically. Whether you want to call that amnesty or not, I mean, they try and work around the word. I knew they weren't going to call it amnesty, but they were saying there was going to be mass amnesty for millions. That's not that. That was always ridiculous. Greenland videos are doing well recently. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I mean, the algorithm's weird, I guess. Name is Juliet Rose Bryant. If you want to look at the video of her talking about seeing him turn into well, yeah, you lose all your credibility when you say that. I mean, if that's seriously what she alleges, if that's legitimate. Human trafficking, ped circles in operation, and people want to gossip about a dead president. Those files are old and tainted by now. How could they not? Yeah, I mean, to me, I think they probably do still have stuff, but they've destroyed a lot. They've destroyed a lot of the videos, and it's clearly a uniparty thing to where this is being swept under. I mean, you're talking about foreign governments being involved, and they're not going to allow that to come up. I don't think. Hmm. The wall of text shows he's feeling the base backlash. No, the wall of text is just a normal Trump tweet now. But I mean, we'll see what he ends up doing. I just how do you know that? Bondi said a few weeks ago she had 10K hours of video. Well, I don't know what video she was talking about. I think I don't know. I guess it depends who's involved with who's in the videos. I think a lot of them involving people got destroyed. You see Newsom campaigning already? Yeah. No, I made a mention of that. Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's really bad for Newsom. You're campaigning in 2025, really? After we realize Trump isn't going to release them, no one should talk about it. I mean, that's bot behavior. I feel like Trump gets ratioed on Truth Social. He's trying to defend Trump. Yeah, but that surplus is. I've heard that surplus was kind of bullshit. You know the government surplus that we had. Is Newsom official? Yeah, well, Newsom. I don't know if he's officially going to be the nominee, but he's their front runner in 2028. Whatever that, it doesn't matter. I mean, in 2025, I mean he's the favorite, but who knows? They need a major distraction. Now is a great time to introduce to aliens. Yeah, but they would need actual proof of that because people would just immediately call it, bullshit if they talk about the UFO stuff. Because that's what they always say, anyways. It's already a meme. You bring up the UFOs when they need a distraction. All you have to do with Newsom is, yeah. I mean, I think Newsom is, he's definitely their most presidential. He would be their most presidential. But I agree with you. I think California is such a mess, and the problem is he's a coastal guy. I mean, they could get a VP from the Midwest, but I don't see it. But I understand why they would think he'd be their best chance. It's a straw man to talk about Biden's administration when we're discussing Trump's fuck ups. Well, I mean, you just seemed extremely outraged. I'm just wondering where the outrage was for 4 straight years. It's the exact same thing. You could even argue it's worse because at least we're bringing Trump to task. They didn't ever question anything about Biden with this. Well, Cash Patel came out and released something. Did you see that? Conspiracy theories aren't true and have never been. He wants to continue serving because there's been rumors that he's gonna step down. He's gonna resign if Bondi doesn't. MAGA sours on Trump. Could DeSantis be back in the running for 2020? I don't think it would get that bad. No, I don't think. I think you might be overreacting on DeSantis. I don't know what DeSantis is gonna do. Honestly, I mean, I give him credit for swinging Florida, but I know he's been talking a lot about zero property tax. I don't know if they'll be able to implement that, but what do you think about Jasmine Crockett being the Democrat front runner? I think she would be terrible. I don't think she would do well at all. Yeah, it was interesting to see them explain the Hitler mishap with Grok. Did you see they put out a statement on it? They said basically they opened up Grok to accepting more new information on but they specifically said new information by users on X. So they were insinuating that the only reason Grok was saying what he was saying was because he's being fed basically they're insinuating lies from the far right, and that's why he was saying that. So it was kind of funny how they tried covering that. People reacting. Megyn Kelly asking for a 2-hour interview with Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino. Yeah, I mean, you need some type of transparency. They honestly should do this or something. They have to try and turn this around. One good thing about half the MAGA folks impressed me with their willingness to fight back, transparency, bombing amnesty. Dems just, well, I mean, obviously people are going to fight back. It's not, if things are happening that you don't like, I mean, they're not going to be happy. I mean, that's what happens. But there's ways to massage it if you're the administration. Most of this is on the administration. I mean, a lot of these people that are outraged right now, they could have handled this differently and it'd be a lot different of the situation, even if they didn't release anything. I'm just saying the way they handled this, only fuels the fire of these people being angry because they promised something and then said that thing didn't exist. So that's like blatant. Do you think Tucker will make a run in 2028? Well, I mean, you see how this is developing with Tucker possibly, being further right than MAGA, trying to get the younger people. I mean, you can see what's going on. I don't know what the plan is with him, but he said he doesn't want to run. No one voted for. Thank you for the 20 Giga Chad with the $20. No one voted for Trump because of Epstein. We're actually starting to ramp up deportation. If illegal immigration is net zero, that'd be more important than anything in the last 30 years. People need to stop whining and be realistic. Puts that in danger. Yeah, I mean, the immigration stuff looks really good. We're going to have to ramp up the deportations. You're right. We'll see with the ICE funding. We'll see what happens with that. They're going to have to do some type of interview. I agree here. They should do an interview. Imagine it gets worse for them. But, I mean, what are they just going to deny everything? It'll probably be worse. Megyn Kelly wants to capitalize on this with ratings bonanza. During the Biden administration, I know, but they're just gonna say it's whataboutism. I've told people that they say it's whatabout. They say, oh, but I mean, it's true. Every president had scandals, controversies, LBJ, JFK assassination, Nixon, Watergate, Reagan, Iran, Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, Bush, 9/11, WMD, Obama, Benghazi, Biden, Afghan withdrawal, Trump, J6, Epstein. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen, and it depends. A lot of the times, the media makes something how big, and then the people react. This is different though because now we got the internet, and the media doesn't really control it in terms of how big these scandals end up getting. You think it's fair to come to the conclusion that's one, he's in the files, or two, he's protecting people in the files? Both are really bad. I mean, but by in the files, what do you mean? Because you can be in the files and fly to different places without Epstein there, and there's something with his wife and stuff. I mean, him being in the files doesn't mean he did anything with the island. The files are very encompassing. So there's a lot of vagueness to that statement. He's in the files. Well, what does that mean? Or him covering for people. I think that's more likely in terms of people that he knew, because he's already said before that there's a lot of people that are in there that are innocent, or So I mean that could be it. Ben Askren, that's a crazy story. Yeah, there's all these sims for this. It's really odd. Very strange. I mean, it happens every stream now. Do the 2 hour interview with Megyn Kelly and call it quits. Didn't vote for Trump because of the Epsteins. Right, they have to do something. I mean, to placate to the base, I think. But I mean, really, will anything? I mean, they've already said it doesn't exist, so now the base is not happy. The base thinks they're lying. You're not really going to overcome that. And so I don't know. I mean, but what percentage of the base is it? I guess that's another thing. Bigger bigger picture is government being compromised and the obvious cover-ups. Yeah, well, I mean, and then that would be Trump being part of the swamp. I mean, but Trump's a multi-billionaire, so he already had heavy connections. I mean, that is one of the things with Trump to where you say he's an outsider, but he's got all these connections to Epstein and all the politicians already because of his worth. So it's like, well, it's a little bit more complicated, even though he wasn't really in politics. He was still in politics at a different role. When are you people going to realize that you'll never be able to vote your way out of this? I mean, what is this, like a fucking revolution, man? Come on. Epstein isn't even top 10 concern for Trump voters. Well, that's what I said. I said if you go down a list of, where the Epstein files being released would be, it'd be like 18th or 20th. I mean, it'd be very low. But this is just, people say you're just running cover. But I'm just being honest. That's the truth. Giga Chat, I appreciate it. If anyone thought Trump was the perfect candidate, you're an idiot. This is what we were going to get. If we get illegal immigration to zero, then we can build off of this with DeSantis or someone else. Well, I don't think it's going to be DeSantis. 28. I'd be surprised if it was DeSantis. But I mean, illegal immigration is already zero, bro. That's what they've already proven it with the border encounters. So they've gotten illegal immigration to zero, but it's just the question is, what happens next in terms of the deportations, the operation surrounding it, all of the funding, the infrastructure, the ICE. They're gonna get a lot of funding. You're gonna have to see if they're able to deport these people. Sad about victims. You'd bet most of them died on the island. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible, and it's a multi administration cover up. Trump must think it's a national security thing. Yeah, I know that, but we can argue that. But people are gonna say, well, he's covering himself or he's covering for friends. Giga, thank you. That will only last so long. Will increase if next 4 years we make dented numbers of illegals compared to 2024. That's massive. Yeah, but let me give you some statistics on illegal immigration. The reason I don't really care, well, I mean, obviously we want it to go down. This is the problem with illegal immigration. Now, you can say, well, there's 20 million, there's 30 million, there's 50 million. There's probably around 25 million illegals in the country, right? Think about it. If there's 25 million illegals in the country and we have the illegal immigration down to zero, so no more illegals are coming, that's great. So it's 25 million. Some of them will self-deport. I don't know how many. It's impossible to say. Some of them will self-deport, but maybe only like 200K, 500K, whatever. So if you're talking about deporting a million per year, that's only 4 million. And there's 25 million illegals. And that's with a ton of infrastructure on deportation and the funding. I'm concerned that this is, how are we only going to get 4 million if there's 20 million or 25 million? I just, we need to deport more, it feels like, than a million per year, a lot more. So I don't know. To me, it seems like the deportation effort is like swimming upstream. It seems like there's really no, you're never gonna like it's a lot easier to have illegals come into the country with negligence, with no border security, than actually deport them with all the due process and bullshit that we have to go through. It's one giant just scam. So I think it's a problem, but I mean, hopefully he'll be able to deport some people. You can't do it. It's impossible. Yeah, I mean, there's too many of them that are in the country. I don't. How much money would you need to be able to deport like 3 million per year? I mean, is that even? It's like I'm not even sure that's. There's just too many in that have been let into the country. He will get 10 million, 5 million plus five. I don't know if I highly doubt 5 million will self deport. You really think that? That seems very bullish. Plus, the other problem is they've already gotten off to a very slow start. So to say there's 5 million, I mean, I know they got a ton of funding for it, but I also wonder, they're probably going to ramp down that operation when the midterms roll around because, it's not the most popular thing for independent people. So you have to wonder if they ramp it down for a few months, if that costs them some numbers as well. I mean, that's a very bullish prediction to say 10 million total because I don't think you're going to get 5 million self deportations. I don't know, but it's hard to say. How can you deport more if you don't have the money to do so? Isn't it costing? It's a $20,000 per deportation. There's ways to do it quicker, but with our system, with our court system, the way it's set up and the power, you have to go through 100 of these things. Transporting these people to different places costs a bunch of money. Creating these detention facilities, housing them for days, this all costs a bunch of money, and you have to pay a bunch of enforcement to get these people. I mean, it's all very expensive. It's the second time you beef with Doomers in your chat. Yeah, well, I mean, we've had Doomers because there's been a lot of negativity with the Trump stuff. There was a lot of Doomers. There was way more Doomers, I'll tell you, with the Israel-Iran strikes, though. That was next level. This is nothing compared to that. Trump hasn't even deported as much as Obama. You need to look up statistics on that. That's a common lie. Obama did not deport that many people. They counted border turnaways as deportations. Right, and Obama wasn't hindered as well, but also Obama had the deportation infrastructure from W. Bush anyways. It wasn't even him. You can call me a doomer all you want. We're just the ones to see past the lies. Well, I mean, listen, there's getting angry at this, and then there's, sitting here. It's like people love, like, basking in, like, oh, like, dude, you see people, listen, if you're a grown man and you burn a MAGA hat, I mean, are you a fucking 5-year-old? You're gonna burn a MAGA hat, really? Take your pacifier out. I mean, come on. But that reminds me of like when grown men burn jerseys of players that leave their teams. You ever seen that? It's like cringiest shit ever. Didn't Prince Andrew give an interview? Didn't turn out well for him. So why do you think a Trump interview on Epstein? Well, it wouldn't be Trump doing the interview. We're trying to get some type of transparency that would maybe help them, but you're right. I don't know if it would. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my. Yeah, Camden Yards was a great ballpark, man. Just name who was in the videos on the island. Yeah, no, they're gonna have to come up with something. The least they could do is the videos because that's clearly incriminating enough. Only 30,000 people were deported last month. That's physical. It's not self deportations. So there's probably more self deportation, but also that was with less money. They have more money now with this, the bill that they signed. Been binge watching your 9/11 series. Anything new coming up? Yeah, there'll be 15 things you didn't need to know about 9/11. That's going to be the video that's coming up next, I think. But I haven't even filmed it yet, so it'll be probably tomorrow or the next day or the day after. Would you cover the Chiefs' new stadium on the ground if they moved to Kansas? I don't live in Kansas, man. You're not trying to be a dick. Is it not something to be mad about towards the administration? Right. I mean, you can be mad about it. That's this is this is a bad thing. But this is unfortunately the U.S. government, and just you have to factor everything in. Like if I grade Trump, I'm grading Trump on immigration. I'm grading Trump on geopolitical foreign affairs. I'm grading Trump on the economy. There's Miss Epstein file is miscellaneous. Listen, I know it's very bad, and it's going to be used against Trump, and it's obvious as to why. But there's multiple different levels. Depots with criminal prosecution of the employers will also get them out within 10 years. Heavy fines too. What depositions? Why are there so many Trump bootleggers in the chat who thinks he can do no wrong? Dude, it's like 70-30 people are pissed off at Trump in the chat. Why can't you run for president? I'm not qualified. I'm not even close to old enough for this. Should companies be fined per illegal aid? Oh yeah, they should be. They should be hit with big fines for that. It's very bad. I don't think they're going to though. I think it depends. A lot of the farms are going to be able to keep the illegals. They'll have to pay them more because they'll be on visas, but I know. I saw the stuff with the children and the slave work. It's terrible. That was a marijuana farm though, so I think that's why they went after that one. Tucker's speech about focusing on the trans sports issue is so true. Lazy, controlled politicians use that to distract from the real right wing issues to get cheap applause. We already won on that issue. Well, those issues are, I don't even know where to class. I guess social issues. They'd be social issues. Yeah, the reason that's harped about is because it's a famous 80-20 issue, and Republicans are always going to win that issue. But honestly, that issue, I think everyone is kind of punch drunk with it. I don't think people are kind of over it, and we know. But the thing is that shouldn't, it is concerning in society to where, that shouldn't even be a question on that type of thing, and that shouldn't be encouraged. Young kids transitioning, that's a terribly harmful thing, and the idea that if you say that you're, transphobic and you don't like young kids transitioning is a terrible, terrible thing. And the idea, so that I think that is a problem in society to where it seems like some people want to accept that. But I hear you. I never really talk about the social issues anyways. Why did Bondi say the videos won't be shown? Who the hell expected to see the videos? She got it all. No, I know what you're saying. We were looking for the information with, who was in them. Nobody was expecting to see the fucking videos of that. Will there be any attempt to save face or ignore and hope it all goes away? Well, originally I thought they were going to attempt to save face by firing Bondi and then releasing something. Evidently, that's not what's happening. It looks like they're all staying. Now, I don't know what's the deal with Bongino, because it has been reported that he didn't show up on Friday. He took the day off, and it was because he wanted Bondi gone. So where does that leave Bongino now that Trump comes out in support of Bondi? Patel has already come out and said, it's false, I'm staying, and basically said Bongino's on his own. So they probably just want it to go away. I mean, there might be some type of trying to smooth it over through some type of Fox News appearance from Bondi, I would imagine. But it's hard to say. Unknown, hey man, I appreciate that. The funny thing is that the mainstream media will still claim the biggest scandal in Trump's admits so far was the signal leaks. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe the signal leaks are even a story anymore. That's another one of those things that's a very micro topic, and then it's just irrelevant. I mean, that's something they can try and say is like for the administration being unprofessional, maybe. But you have to understand that signal application that's used a lot in military planning, and they tried to act like it wasn't, and they said it was unsecure, but that was an intern that did that. But it's irrelevant now. I mean, the only problem with that signal thing is if something else happens like that, then it's going to be an issue for Hegseth. How do I turn my life around at 26 too late? Oh no, I would say 26 is not too late. I will say, man, I'm 25. Once you get, this is like, it's different for everyone, but it's like your awareness of aging starts, for me, it started at like 23, 24. Like, but it's not even like my body's getting run down or anything, but like you have awareness that you're aging. It's a very strange thing. Because when you're 19 or 20, there's just no awareness of it. It's weird. I can't explain it. But now at 26, I mean, it depends what you love to do, and if your situation. Do you have any? Do you have a degree? Do you have a job? I mean, it depends. You could certainly at 26, you could turn it around, man. You turned 20 yesterday, and first year you felt old. I mean, I guess it's different. I think at 20 you still have no awareness. I mean, maybe I still have no awareness, but for me it was an interesting thing. Nate, what's up, man? I'm doing well tonight. I'm getting inundated with people here. They're upset. I understand. Upset about the Trump thing. Once you hit 30, you hit your prime. Well, it depends what you do, but yeah, 30 is definitely you're gonna make more money by normally by the time you hit 30, depending on what field you're in. You just get more experience. You move the ladder, the corporate ladder, the proverbial ladder. You like Tucker over Vance for 2028, although he doesn't seem to be able to ever be serious. That laugh is yeah. The thing with Tucker is it's you can see the talking points with Tucker. It's interesting, but I don't know. I mean, Tucker would be like the farther right bruh. I mean, you can. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I was gonna do a video on it. I was so surprised I just didn't get around to it. But that Tucker speech was interesting. He's definitely trying to signal to the further right men. Got your engineering degree at 24. Your friends got theirs at 33. Never too late. 33. Wow. What differentiates this from the Iran situation? Is the Iran situation had the best outcome possible? Yeah, no, I don't think there's going to be a thing where he's blackmailing people. I would be shocked. Imagine if it was that. Yeah, I think the best outcome at this point, I can't even tell you because there's no trust within the bureau. By the fall, gas prices, economy, tariffs will all be good. No one will care. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. There's a lot of things that affect that. I mean, hopefully they'll be good. The gas is trending in a very good direction. It's stabilized. The crude oil is down. There's going to be more no more drilling. You're going to have more access to it. It'll go down even more. Have you been to Indiana? I've been to Indiana sparsely. Yeah, Indiana borders my state, so I've been there, but not too many times. It makes no sense because if there was anything on, yeah, I know what you're saying about if there's anything about Trump, the Dems would exploit it, but the issue is it's a lot more nuanced than that because there's other stuff on there that is in relation to people that Trump knows. Trump getting ratioed on Truth Social is crazy. Yep. It'd be like Musk getting ratioed on X, I guess. But Trump even has more loyalists on there than Musk. It's all Trump loyalists on Truth Social. That might actually get to him then. Maybe that'll get to him. Maybe that'll cause him to change. This is actually a blessing in disguise, like Trump losing 2020. You think it's a good thing that will force transparency? That's if Trump has a change of heart. You don't remember Independent's top concern being Epstein files? Well, no, it certainly wasn't. But I mean, you have to understand this is a very micro issue, so everyone is concerned about it right now. I mean, it's a bad look for the administration. There's no other way around it, and Trump is like quadrupling down on it. Alex Soros funneled 24 million to Mondani. Well, there goes his grassroots campaign. Forward.
I have learned so much about the news. I so admire honest reporting. There's not that much of it, though. We really don't have that much. And I think to make America great again, you need at least, we have to get a bigger percentage than we have. And nobody understands why. Why would somebody make up stories to make Biden look good when the man was grossly incompetent? What good does it do? I mean, other than lose credibility, you know, they're down at the lowest number for credibility that they've ever had. They're way below Congress, which is very interesting. I have learned.
RJ, I appreciate it, man. People were fixated on the Epstein because of the Clinton connection. No one cares about a dead guy's crime. Where are the girls speaking up? Move on. I mean, there have been several of them, and one of them was just died. Have you seen the new AI video? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of AI videos. Probably not the one you're referencing. So this is an interview Trump just did.
And it's basically telling countries that we are going to give you the privilege to shop and work in our country. And I think it's very good. And in some cases, we'll make deals. You know, we'll make a direct deal as opposed to a letter. And we've already made some of them with various countries. But it's a tremendous amount of money to this country. It's really incredible. The potential of this country is incredible. It's been run very foolishly. It's been run stupidly, so stupidly. And some of the countries are very upset now because they've been taking advantage of us for 30, 40 years. And I had it stopped. I was stopping in the process, and then we had the COVID in the last part of my administration. But we had the strongest economy in the history of our country. And this is going to be better, I predict. This is going to be better. The money coming in, the tariffs coming in, hundreds of billions of dollars are coming in. They're pouring in.
And they're making a lot off the tariffs. I wonder if he projects the new tariff revenue to be after these tariffs he put on. Yeah, he's got that's right, the year anniversary. It's July 13th, the year anniversary of the Butler assassination attempt. Laura, yeah, this is not really a hard interview when you've got Laura Trump being the one to ask the questions. Let's see what he says about the Epstein stuff. Trump just repeats over and over. You think it's his age? He picks the direction others actually think about, and he doesn't know jack what's going on. Yeah, he does. He doesn't have a very big vocabulary, Trump. He is older, though. I mean, if you all just want to stay in denial and say no one cares, then fine. Well, dude, it's just this is based off of the political news, and you're saying we're all evil. Uh, where is the outrage for years that this cover up has been going on? I mean, you seemingly have some serious selective outrage. I think it's a bad situation for the administration, and I think everything should come out. What would I what like? I'm just telling you how the government operates. Who do you think he's protecting if not himself? The only thing I could see is him trying to conceal Israel's role in all of this. Well, it's not. It's Israel. It's people he knows. You don't think he knows people? I mean, he knew Epstein. You don't think he knows people that were close with Epstein? Do a video. Will I do a video on the anniversary? Probably not a video specifically on the anniversary. No. You keep saying that Biden did not hype up release of new information holding people accountable. All right, well, isn't the whole point that there are victims, and isn't the whole idea that Trump should bring this forward? And another thing is Trump didn't hype this up. He mentioned it twice before the election. Saying he hyped it up is mischaracterization. Sarah, I appreciate it. But it's also like, isn't the whole idea you have these values to where we want to hold the government accountable? Okay, well, we had many years to do that, and nothing's happened. There wasn't a peep. So why is there selective? And it's not even, when you look at why Trump won, it wasn't a top 10 thing. There's a lot of misremembering. Jurassic World was a 7 out of 10. See it in theaters if you want, but yeah, I don't know about Jurassic World. I never seen those movies, honestly. 7 of 10 seems pretty good though. 7 of 10 for our movies nowadays seems pretty good. Trump was interviewed and asked about Epstein. He weaved it off, but MAGA thinks he campaigned on it. I know. It's a lot of negative. It's just a lot of misremembering of it. I mean, there's just it's. I mean, I think it's terrible. It's bad for the administration, but people are acting like this was like the number one thing he ran on. I don't know where I don't know where Tulsi has been. They kind of sidelined her, but also she was really MIA from the beginning. I really haven't heard much from her from the beginning of the administration. It was a top. It was not a top reason. It's the economy. It's immigration. It's the no new wars. You should watch the original Jurassic Park. Yeah, people tell me to watch it. Did you watch The Dark Knight? Of course. Yeah, I watched The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, I'd say The Dark Knight probably is the best superhero movie. The Dark Knight Rises is also really good, but it's not as good as The Dark Knight. They are covering for foreign nations. I think they're covering for everyone. But yeah, that's part of that's another component to it. He ran on immigration, the economy, and when he entered, he talked about transparency with JFK, RFK, MLK. Yeah, I think the number one thing he ran on was immigration by far. Could a son or son-in-law be in it? There's like ties with Melania, is the rumors that I've heard. Like Epstein introduced Melania to Trump. I don't know how true that is though. But I don't know if anyone in the family. Trump tried to be anti-deep state, but got latched in quickly, and now has things he can't afford to lose. Yeah, and he also, I mean, is in relation. He's not really, when you're a multi-billionaire, you can say you're from the outside, but you have connections, and so that was a connection he had. I mean, he talks to all these people before he got in the first time. Will Ohio State ever beat Michigan? Well, they'll beat them at some point, I would imagine. I don't know with Ryan Day though. You watched your Epstein video last night? Oh, you watched that Epstein that one, the informative one that I did? Yeah, I did. Yeah, so am I reading this correct? Epstein was a nobody funded by pro-Israel billionaire, likely to entrap and control U.S. elites to benefit Israel. Well, they would also argue to benefit certain aspects of the U.S. government as well. But U.S. and Israel are heavy allies, so it was like but it was mainly Mossad potentially. That's what it looks like from just you know just an average T read look at it with who Epstein was connected to. New Superman movie worth watching? I don't think so. People were saying it wasn't that good. MAGA isolationists are grifting now that Trump is in the swamp because he's a billionaire. So they will spin it how Mondani is actually a good candidate because he's well, I don't know, they're not doing that. I think you're starting to overreact. I think you have to realize there are fair criticisms. I mean, I don't know, they're not going to really be supporting Mondani, but New York Buck, thank you for the 50. This year we break the streak. Day's first two losses get an asterisk. Connor Stallions was a factor. Yeah, I hear that. I don't know. I feel like the games would have to be vacated for it actually to be an asterisk. If they vacate the games, then yeah, you can take them off. Nebraska. I don't think Nebraska's making the playoffs. I mean, maybe 8 wins for them, 8-4. Thought it was hilarious Netanyahu came to the White House for a dinner the day after the Epstein list. A celebration dinner. Mossad controls our nation. We need to fight. Well, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Nice Roomba. That thing was a piece of shit, I think. That thing barely works. Is Cash leaving? Cash Patel is not leaving. He said it was false. It's not real. He's not leaving. Remember when Nebraska was good? Yeah, I don't. I was way too young for Nebraska. Nebraska was a powerhouse in like the 80s. Dude, there's no way you're actually saying that. You see many similarities with MAGA isolationists and woke Dems. Well, dude, that's what the Israel right was saying. They called them woke right. You know that. You know that. You have to know that's a thing. If you don't know that as a thing, that's an interesting observation. That's exactly what the Israeli right wing does. They're just pro-Israel people do. They call anyone who's right wing against Israel woke right, or that's been a big thing recently. Is China helping Russia? Well, there's always West versus East type deal with NATO. There's always going to be. I hope that when we sanction them, because somebody was saying it's going to affect crude oil. That would be hopefully I would. We can't really touch the crude oil. We can't allow that. I mean, we're not going to do this over fucking Ukraine. Have the crude oil. The crude oil. Need to keep the crude oil down. Yeah, I hope it doesn't fuck up the crude oil price. Gonna have to look at the type of sanctions they're putting on them. Crypto is up. I thought crypto had a retracement. I think crypto had a retracement today because of that pump fund, the pump coin launch. You know that term, but you wasn't thinking of that. You weren't thinking of that specifically. You had Tucker at Turning Point USA say Bill Ackman contributed nothing and he's a billionaire because he's Jewish. Yeah, well, Tucker goes really hard about that, and he's courting the further right young men, obviously. How do you see the Browns quarterback situation playing out? Well, they're going to start Flacco. Flacco's like 90 years old. They're going to start Flacco for 5 games and then probably bring in Shador. I don't think it's a charade. They have Shador and Dylan Gabriel. They have 2 rookies in the first 5 rounds. This is the Shador thing is just it's a mess because of course we're going to get news coverage now because of it. The team is a mess. They should have traded Myles Garrett. I don't like when they keep these players. We're in a rebuild. We have to draft a quarterback next year. Why not just get... I mean, Myles Garrett's getting old. We have to get something for him. You guess it's just NASDAQ 420 is up? Is NASDAQ up? I'm not sure NASDAQ's up today. Yeah, NASDAQ. NASDAQ's hanging around 6 million right now. NASDAQ, this is impressive price action. Let it go through a little accumulation zone at 6 million. Let it go to it. It'll go to the next level. It'll go to the next level. Just let it go. DXY is up heavily. SPX2 is up. The sanctions on Russia hurt us way more. Yeah, I guess it depends what sanctions are announced. I'm against sanctions if they hurt the domestic economy too much. That's a mess. I know they want to pressure Russia, but crude oil prices will definitely go up if Russia is sanctioned. I wonder if Trump will put something in place to try and ease that. I mean, you would think, I mean, we're really going to do this for freaking trying. This might not even work. I mean, the liberals did this and it didn't work. They sanctioned the hell out of Russia. I wonder what Trump will do. The stock market goes up because they print money and use. Well, this administration hasn't been printing money at all. Not like the last administration. Did you hear the Browns rookie RB was arrested for domestic violence? Who was that? The one that was picked in like the fifth round? The crazy part is that immigration could have gotten swept under the rug, not this. What, like a lack of deportations get swept under the rug? Quinshawn Judkins, that's tough if that's true. Quinshawn Judkins is a good running back, but obviously that's a terrible thing if he did that. Um, how else do you press Russia? Any ideas? You have to let the European countries do it. Then you'd let the European countries do. I mean, you'd have to work something out. I don't know. Give them an ultimatum. You'd have to give them an ultimatum of something. Say NATO's no, because then that's escalation. You don't want to escalate. It's hard. Not taking chances. You're on your way to get your small hat to appease your handlers in a small unmarked country. We need is Kushner in the White House advising Trump. Russia has no money and 10% inflation. They are also out of armor. Yeah, I don't know if I believe half the stuff, man. You know, I hear for 2 years that Russia is done. They can't keep doing this. Ukraine has no men, and then it just continues. I mean, I agree. At some point, it has to be done. The countries have to be exhausted at a certain point. But this is what the Russians do. They just outlast. Trump pressuring Russia is the right move. Besides, it's all covered in the mineral deal. No, it's a concern if it affects our domestic economy like it did in 2022. That's a problem. I don't want it to do that over Ukraine. Listen, I agree. They have to obviously pressure them, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. Russia has been making advances on the front, not much. Yeah, I know. I see. They make very slow advances. They have like a summer offensive going. That's what I was reading. They've been gaining like 72 miles. You saw that Russia took the mineral mine that Zelensky promised Trump. That's why we're arming them again. And no, that's not. That's irrelevant. That was a single like lithium mine. They've got deposits all over the place, but that wouldn't have even mattered anyways. How close was that how close was that deposit to the front line? It was in one of the oblasts, I think, that was going to be annexed anyways. So I don't know, because they haven't advanced that far into Ukraine. Zelensky's approval rating, you're not gonna get a wartime approval rating that's accurate. I don't know. It dropped to like 45% from what I heard. Trump said it was 4% at one point. It's just a lie, but I heard it had dropped pretty significantly. It's war fatigue. Chances you would post a vlog again on this channel like your early vlogs where you would just talk about random stuff like ranking holidays or too bad for analytics. I mean, I would, dude, if I could pull it off, I'd do it, but it'd be bad. It'd be horrible for analytics. My analytics are at this channel, they're fucking crushed. It's basically all political videos. Sometimes I'll get a story that's good enough with the stadium. It's political videos or 9/11 videos at this point. That's basically it. Otherwise, it'll just get crushed. Or maybe it's like a channel update. Thoughts on X influencers? It's a money grab. X it's not meant to make money off of, I don't think. I mean, but it's what they do. You have to get back to the game, but just stopping by to say I love you all. Pepe, I appreciate it, my mod. A few things beat post nut clarity. Yeah, you have some wild post nut clarities with some women sometimes. That was a while ago for me, but it's a stark wake up call. YouGov is not a trustworthy pollster. According to YouGov, Zelensky approval rating 61%. Trump would kill for that. Yeah, I don't believe that, honestly. Well, I mean, look, whatever. I mean, the people galvanize around their leader when there's a wartime situation. But I mean, even liberals were saying the approval rating was lower for Zelensky, from what I heard. But that was a while ago. Trump ready to apologize for defaming Bill. Yeah, do you remember people were playing that clip from 2016 or 2015 when Trump was talking about Bill Clinton had problems with the island. So, yeah, so I mean it's you'd think Trump would be clear if he's talking like that because he's bringing up the topic. Do you see China invading Taiwan anytime? You can't predict it. People keep saying, well, they're doing all these exercises. Well, they obviously want the island. But it's a tough situation for them. Taiwan is a very, very strong economy. They're a hard country to invade. They've got the geography to where it's a mountainous areas. The strait is very choppy. You're not going to be able to invade. You're not going to be able to cross the strait. They've got those huge barges, is what they call them. They're almost they're practically bridges. They're bridges that they transport. They made them. They're not transporting those across that strait unless it's like October or April, I think. Those are the only 2 months they could do it. That's a mess. I hope it doesn't happen under Trump. that's a situation where everyone talks about how cool it would be to be president. That would just be such a clusterfuck. I'd be just like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not like, what do you want me to do? Defend Taiwan? They're like this small fucking country. China's like, it seems like another 5-year situation. Seems just like a mess of a 5-year situation, a demoralization, warfare by China. If I was Trump, I'd be like, I just hope it doesn't happen. Just get me out before that happens. You've been dating a redhead. She's a giant alcoholic, though. Has been lying to me about drinking. Please weigh in. Well, that's disturbing. That's a woman being an alcoholic is. That's no good, man. Russia signed a deal with India to import 1 million workers to shore up their manpower issue. Yeah, India's can afford it. Trump said one China was true. Well, they already referred to them as then they force other people, the other countries to refer to them as Chinese Taipei. You guess most of the people who would watch your vlogs are the ones who would watch for your personality, which is probably people on the, well, the vlogs would have to be made more interesting, right? They'd have to be made interesting to get a different audience. But I mean, that's a problem in and of itself. You've already grown to a certain rate. Now you're trying to attract a new audience at, 295,000. It's like, it's not really managed. I mean, I was able to do it with the political stuff. I mean, I was only at like 120K when I really got into that, though. Rate limit exceeded. What is this thing on here? Oh, that's not on my screen. So JD Vance is in Disney World. Gavin's been really quiet ever since. Well, it just came out, to be fair. I mean, they'll probably get a statement together soon.
Remembered.
A good person, but a person that saved our country. I really believed our country was going down for the fall. I don't know if it ever could have come back. It was very close to the edge. And I really would like to be known as the man that saved our country.
Well, I think you've started off on the right track on this time in our.
Extra orange. He's glowing orange. Yeah, this was from a while ago, that Bongino clip. Yeah, that was not a tough interview. He could have said there's no list. It would have been better. Yeah, obviously it would have been better. But they botched it terribly. There's no denying it. I'm going to have to get a new chair. This chair, it's like it's cushiony, but I've worn the cushion out already. It's a weak chair. It's from Amazon. This chair is weak. It's a $70 office chair. I only have used it for I've almost used it since October. Could have released a fake list at least. Yeah, but then if they find it out, that'd be 10 times worse. You release a fake list. But honestly, it might not have been worse than what this is. And the thing is I do have a gaming chair. You know, you reach a certain age, you probably shouldn't be in a gaming chair. That's my opinion. And also, you know, the thing with the gaming chairs, they've got that back to them. I'm not a fan of that. Made in China? Well, everything's made in China. That's what we're trying to change with the tariffs. No, actually, I think it's made in Chinese Taipei. No, I'm kidding. You don't like back support? Well, I mean, honestly, when I'm doing videos, I don't really want I don't want the arms. I don't really need the back support. I'm not sitting back. So I don't need the crazy back. I don't need the high chair. I feel like I'm like I can't move if I've got the back, you know. You want to be able to move. So I like pretty much I just need more cushiony shit or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, they're not, the gaming chair that I have isn't even that cushiony. It's like a hard cushion, which I guess is better for longevity of it than a softer cushion. But it's really firm. You want a stool? No, I need a back, but it's a small back. Get a beanbag. I need support. Trump seemed to be very supportive of Taiwan compared to his lukewarm support of Ukraine. Also projected arms sales to Taiwan will dwarf any administration of... Really? Yeah, but I thought that quote was from like 2019 that people were showing me, but I don't know. There was a quote about him with really being supportive of Taiwan. Yeah, if he's more support, he might be more supportive of Taiwan. Get a treadmill desk for the live streams. Those are queer. You ever seen the QAnon? Yeah, the QAnon people. I think they've given that up. I remember Alex Jones making fun of them. The weather is not that great. No, the weather is still. I was gonna tweet something out today. I was gonna tweet out. You know, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say like, it's you know, this is there's no hotter place on earth. There's no hotter place than Ohio right now. And the comments I would have gotten would have been just glorious. People would have been furious. They would have been like, dude, have you been to Texas? Have you been to Louisiana? I just try and troll these people. I'm just sick of it. Should I tweet out tomorrow? This is crazy. This is the hottest place in the United States right now, Ohio. Just to see what they would respond with. That would not go over well. I'll have to tweet it out maybe tomorrow if I remember. Yeah, we'll get some people from Arizona. We'll get some people from California. See, they can't help themselves. Even in here, they can't help themselves. I'm gonna have to. I'll make it really triggery too. Ohio has humidity. Yeah, I know. The humidity is terrible. The humidity is awful in Ohio. It was 103. Yep. Save it for the post. Save it for the tweet. Save it for the tweet. Let's see what I tweeted. Let's see what I tweeted today. Relax. That's a nice image. People seem to like this tweet. Trump stands by Bondi, blames Obama and Comey for Epstein files. Bruh. People enjoyed it. Whatever happened to Epic City in Texas? Abbott, they shut it down. It got shut down, I think. They shut it down. They said, you're not allowed to have this settlement here. When I go to Israel, I'm not interested in that. I mean, in terms of the history of the wall and everything, it's very interesting. But in terms of the APAC and stuff and how they buy you, I'm not interested. You're so right on the Trump speech or the Tucker speech. Tucker's speech painted Trump as an out of touch boomer. He knows young conservative men are shifting further right than Trump. Yeah. Rome would be sweet. Yeah, the artifacts. There's a big tourist spots in the Amalfi Coast, I think, in Israel, on the coast, southern area. Tucker has been on fire lately. His podcast has great guests. Really, I haven't really seen much of his podcast recently. I think maybe I saw a few clips. Maybe I saw a few clips. IDF Babe X account, a psyop. Gooners in chat would love Israel after checking it. No, they have cute girls for sure, but obviously it's like, what is that really gonna do? I mean, how does that work? How does the dynamic of going to Disney World as the VP work? That seems like it would be such a logistical nightmare for the Secret Service. That's what I think of when I think of that. Is Candace Owens still alive? She was supposed to drop the Fuentes interview on Friday. Um, yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, she dropped it, so I think she's fine. She paywalled it. Nightmare, yeah, a horrible nightmare for anyone that wanted to go to Disney World. But it's just an inconvenience. Tucker's interview with Iran's president didn't go as viral as I. Yeah, you're right. No, that's a good observation. That was a really nobody cared about that. It's a language barrier problem, but I mean he had the one with Putin, but nobody even knows who Khamenei is. I feel like. Joe, gotta head out, but great stuff as usual. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Candace won her bet that Brigitte Macron is a male with Piers Morgan. Well, I don't know if they admitted it. I just think there was something that was thrown out. There was a lawsuit that got thrown out or something. What an odd situation that is. And then Candace Owens said the reason there was no peace ceasefire was because Macron was holding it up because he wanted Candace Owens to stop talking about Brigitte being a man. And she's like, "I'm serious. I'm not kidding." Tucker Bongino interview coming soon. Imagine Bongino's outcast. He leaves like this and then does an interview with Carlson. Dude, that would be bad for Trump. $5K away from 300K. Hope you get it soon. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Susie Wiles. Wasn't there something on that? I think I had something on her. Bongino feuding with her. That's right. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this stream. I'm gonna end it there. Don't think Bongino would do a tell-all interview until much later. Yeah, you're probably right. Until after till after Trump's gone. All right. 5 hour energy, huh? All right, guys. I'll see ya.